all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Farina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible. That's Farina, right over there! She really is here all on her own.
Should I just give up? This is all what was meant to happen did happen after all. Everyone's dead. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Give up, Farina. There's no point in holding out. I'm sorry. But what can I even do other than to repeat meaningless apologies over and over? Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina. It's just us.
So it is you, blonde traveler from another land. Why, I almost thought you were someone from that mob of my ignorant subjects, come to kneel and beg for my forgiveness.
Farina, you were crying just now, weren't you? The tear stains on your face are obvious.
What do you mean, tear stains? Oh, I remember. The show at the Opera House earlier this morning was so moving. I'm still trying to process it. Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were, disturbing my enjoyment of the arts? They even dare to tout their Archon. I must teach them a lesson. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Marish Chaussee Phantom are freaking out right next to them, too. Of course not.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after her!
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are? That's against the rule.
Farina just ran off! Quick, we have to catch up with her! This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up to you.
What is this place?
Hurry, they're almost here.
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted. Lead the way. Fearless.
Paimon's exhausted.
I'm so tired. I totally thought they had caught me. No! I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed. You're right.
Yep, that's a good girl.
What's happening? The ground's shaking.
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
It can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Nevertheless, maybe.
Yeah, I hope you're right. But the people of Poisson, they... It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years. I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for clues and feeding information back to me. I've tried all kinds of ways, too, to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coastline from advancing. But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long... We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled. Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms with fate, but also for me to finally, indeed. I've thought about giving up so many times, especially after we almost lost Poisson. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules. But just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf of everyone else. As long as the final moment hasn't come, it's still not too late. Don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until the very end. Well, that's enough for now. Don't take any...
Come on! Paimon could have sworn you were actually being honest just now.
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone. A witness. Yes, I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond and if Tevat is in its entirety. If...
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance. Now, without further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
So this is what it is. Yes, do not forget, however, that I am Focalor.
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
You would draw your blade against a god? I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Paimon can't believe it.
What the heck is going on?
Wow, how utter.
Lady Farina.
Shh. It would seem that there
Looking for
I raise my hands. I will admit that I've been running away. I'm sorry, everyone. You are not the only one. But now, I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world the truth. This time. Applaud and reach. Mark my words. This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of fun. Woohoo! Oh, no!
Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Like, come on! Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is
All right, then. Who will be
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness of Tivat. Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question before the trial begins, just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy. Moreover, according to our understanding, we arranged for.
So, you mean...
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant
That's right. That house was a magic box.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Aaron was an Archon. My thanks, Farina. Without your help, we couldn't... Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off. We had to select a location.
So, in other words, the earthquake that...
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Then, I can guess, Nervilette, you gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and also that as soon...
Yes, that is...
Well, Clorand, as for you, Traveler, you'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived. Oh? It's fine. It matters not. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the very...
Sir Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Oh, Leb Hymansi! Wait. Then that means this document... So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to... Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duel you took part in at the Opera House. That's what the words of someone as extraordinary. I nearly... The fortress of Meripede was a fatu... This is... I didn't think that you'd...
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come on, Nervy. Just fast forward to the part where the Of course, it is only natural...
That's true, but my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon. Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a fraud?
Hey, I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro Arc.
Charge accepted. Lady Farina, do you plead guilty to the charge? Lady Farina.
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could—
Yeah, even though—
Yeah, I've never questioned.
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory. See? Even the Oratrice has decided to if you wish to drop the case.
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? We have to not only refute Farina's claims, but also—
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender. And if I was not—
First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so—
A curse. I once thought it possible that the aura, but in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your
Neverlet sensed it too, huh?
Lady Farina, is that—
Well, it is true that—
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Even if Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god— For centuries, manifestations of my authority have— One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice—
That doesn't sound right. Paimon does— You tried to reference the Oratrice. But weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Child to be guilty without any proof? Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the god—
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your— While the court is in session, the principals, you will prove yourself unable to defend against—
I never thought—
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Farina.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you, instead of having been created by you, the manifest—
The real Hydro Archon. It is true that I did not know why, but the Oratrice handed out that You can't argue that just—
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to—
My power as an
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to—
You don't need to go that far.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or—
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons, thus did I give up—
Isn't that?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power?
It seems like nobody's buying Farina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone! I'm still the same, please.
If what the prosecutor said is true,
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents?
Enough! That's enough! Tell me then, if you have no...
Wow, she came up with yet another art. That doesn't sound... It has been established that all Fontanians can dissolve in water from the...
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere...
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. I swear this really will be the... Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As including those... So, Miss Farina, if we are to believe that you are indeed the real but if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the Oh, and I must remind you, I do hope you'll act prudently, and
Navia from the Spina di...
If Lady Farina's in...
Lady Farina, this test...
Well, of course he had to tell her that.
She's just staring at the water without saying...
What's going on?
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Farina.
What?
Hey!
I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! Will you believe me?
Miss Siegewin, if you're...
Siegewin?
Don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds. That should be...
Please announce the results of your
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying... She was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to prime...
Thank you, Miss Siegewin. Lady Farina.
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved!
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problem, however, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to... We don't want anyone else to lose their life to the...
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low-con... It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina could have...
I can't... Listen to me, everyone! Think about it! Also... Please, everyone, anyone, just listen to me! I swear, I really am your...
I don't think anything she says at this point.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's...
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway her. She's too stacked against her now.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is... guilty. We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale.
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
No, the Oratrice also.
Isn't that correct?
However, the exact word to be punished via.
That's actually one of the available sentences.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court.
Farina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice?
This outcome is indeed quite strange. Is this sentence really appropriate?
Yeah! Even Fauché wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind.
Indeed. Not only is Farina's sentence overly excessive, but now the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of.
Excuse me, if I may interrupt. Is the trial still going?
Fremine! You finally made it. I assume this means you've completed.
Mm-hmm. Any mission Father assigns to me.
Is that the first prophecy slate? Huh. So the knave privately arranged for Fremine.
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the... But has the trial already concluded? Then... does...
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me to review the record. Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other...
Huh? So what do you see? What is it?
I believe I've now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has...
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her? So when you say Hydro Archon...
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently...
Okay, let's try to recall the contents of the... The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon. Does that mean that Fontaine? The second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But the heavens still brought judgment down upon them. This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontainians were branded with their original sin. The third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea. That reminds Paimon. Well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontainians have been talking about. We didn't believe that such a...
We know from the case of the serial disappearances of young women, and the first stone slate tells us that this might be the reason.
That doesn't sound quite... That doesn't sound...
Perhaps what is about the truth and the original. It's not as simple. When Navia fell into the sea, her consciousness, the stone slates show the people gathered around the Hydro. The prophecy from the stones, the four.
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea but won't cease to exist. their essence will... The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within her... The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meripede was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass no matter... The stone slate's contents can all be verified by recent events. If we combine what we know together, loads of truths should come to light. It now, but then it feels like...
Let's hear them.
Incredible. Linny, did you hear that?
We're not really...
All Fontanians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontanians could dissolve in primordial seawater. And how all the girls Vacher dissolved were also turned into Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get...
Indeed.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably angered Celestia by creating humans without prior... That could also explain why the Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient sin.
The Hydro Archon's true sin was creating us?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese.
Yeah! Isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the... In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters. And only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you... However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slate, when we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden info... Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative. I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontanians and the sin of the... In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the seven, did not possess... Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiar... She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanids' blood vessels. But if Fontanians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would be... Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history.
So you...
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single... Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be sentenced to...
This really might be too much information.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the third and fourth stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions... A key point of the visual on the third slate is how they have not been dissolved, which implies the nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trials and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, therefore, The meaning that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice. Yes,
I think I'm following now. So, in truth, everything we've done has happened.
What should we do?
Huh. No matter what,
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate?
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions. About the fourth slate, you probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meripede served as the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass, yes? However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come. As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before. This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come. We must...
it was both dream.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea.
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
That was way too close! How did that thing just burst into the Opera House? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance. That whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for the... And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontainians out of Oceanids, she filled the...
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontainians nigh impossible to resist. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of...
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back?
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, from the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that. Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the...
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. Even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could...
That's not something I will We've already done everything we can, and we even found the true culprit. We've come so far. You can't just...
Indeed, that's not how a grand performance should end.
I'll fight it to the end, no matter what.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy... Yes. What has been... Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspective, ultimately, fate shall serve. What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Farina! No, I still need answers.
You...
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too...
You are not Farina. Who are you?
The sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success.
Focalor. Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. The heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon. She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume, although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task... But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to...
So you were also once one of the Oceanids?
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. After becoming a god,
I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart, she could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and her strengths were of a kind but in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human and anyway, so then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course. Do you still remember the final scene of In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be under the curse I placed on her. So long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house. I suppose now you probably understand why you're.
But Farina is only human. Even though she has had a long life, I cannot begin to.
It has indeed. And although she is, it's been 5, and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful.
Oh, who permitted you to come onto this stage? Now, All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontanians are upon me. Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
Another star goes out! Yeah.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards! Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
Merciless. Paradigm shift. Ha! Ha! Yeah! Yeah!
Farina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're... mirror me? How can...
Mirror you, huh?
Mirror me?
The prophecy.
What prophecy? The people will all be...
Oh, very good.
What?
Yes, it will.
But doesn't that...
Oh, don't. I will tell you how to save...
Oh, as for the stuff, but if there were scales with all the...
I suppose this would also...
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing.
Play as...
That's right. You must be... If you can keep it up, then...
But how will I do this?
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn... Being a human yourself, remember, your true...
So, how...
To accomplish this mission, you will... But I promise you...
A trial, huh? The Maison Cardinalise has announced my What should I say to most appear like a... I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's... As the god Focalor, the god of justice, I shall once again thank you. This should... I thought I might stammer, but thankfully...
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity...
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest.
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone right? Mirmi said that I just need to calm down, Farina. Think. What do the people want? Assertive, with a... Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet... Well, it seems that you would all... You may consider my previous act a... Now then!
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Personality? It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before.
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. Best follow this fluff. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith. We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away. No, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role that they... The scales of justice. May law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fire. There is no trouble in this, so long as I...
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports as well as a
Come now. Besides, not
if I may be so
a magnificent, dramatic, and
That's true, I fear I lack.
No need for fright. And do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now. Do your duty.
Lady Farina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing.
No need to thank. All right. Deoteria.
He is doing much better. Oh, you're such a gentle and...
Lady Farina, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take...
I see. It's as I thought then. All manner of...
Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water levels.
Really? Have they found anything?
I'm afraid that they haven't found it.
Oh, is that so? The day is finally over. But it's good to see that everything's getting on track. There are no longer any voices of maybe this is fine.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports for the latest...
There'll be...
Lady Farina,
Indeed, my...
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies near Poisson.
Understood. Keep monitoring. Keep me informed should anything come up at the Institute. I don't think I let anything slip today. I must show the people that there is nothing to worry about. I just don't know when these days will end. I feel utterly exhausted. Best to rest early today, too.
Lady Farina, it's like a dream being able to speak with you up close like this. I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was Madame Deoteria, almost 20 generations ago.
And what a fine family yours is indeed. It brings me great joy to meet such a faithful believer. A descendant of a line most ardent. What is it, good citizen?
Oh, are you crying?
Oh, really now? This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion is the waters, can I?
No wonder. No wonder. A manifestation.
So interminable.
hundreds of years. I never imagined. Have I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. But would that not destroy all I've done so far? I've conducted so many investigations across the centuries, but there's not even a sliver of hope that we might break the prophecy. All I can do is keep heart. I must maintain this act. It is the only way to save Fontaine. Please, mirror me. You have to succeed.
Farina, you don't have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share. That's impossible.
But even if you're just share it with me.
A witness. And if to... He's right. But if things... No, Farina. But what if, Farina, is it such... If you let this opera think about it long and hard. No, all you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness...
Fine.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine would have been doomed to the most tragic fate. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works. How would you build on this foundation to...
Ah, good, good. Of course, the Iudex of Fontaine has pinpointed... I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no simple machine, yes?
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core chamber. It now seems that that person...
And then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth. In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact... Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only... I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really, some have already discovered that only a small... The vast majority has been, had to be,
It was all a part of your plan, then?
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained, but only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy...
So the Oratrice's call for death, the destruction of that divine throne, If I do not misunderstand...
Returning what's right. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro...
But...
Oh, what? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon...
All you've done throughout the years is just so you can...
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now... Hydro Dragon. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the Heavenly Prince. Egeria stole the power of the Primordial Sea, and the Heavenly Principle stole the power you ain't. I, for my part, am the god of justice. Speaking of justice, I have always believed that so, if the theft of the Primordial Sea's might was, then, leaving matters of procedural right and, in other words, defying the at this point, Iudex Neuvillette, the highest judge.
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as you, at last. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living along, you are, things being as they are. Surely you know that I could never declare them to be.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Neuvillette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
I, Iudex Neuvillette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
What just happened?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection?
But since we're all still—
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment.
Didn't you say just a moment ago that it can't be defeated?
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, we should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry. Traveler, now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an execute the root of the calamities befalling Fontaine. The beast that enacts the— Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution. Done my best to save the power away. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening together. I can feel its sorrow turning into hostility.
Merciless. Rain outlines your fate. Merciless. Another star goes out. That's more like it. Witness the power of what? Eyes on me!
The all-devouring novel cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. Chance will present itself. You my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within.
Outlines your fate. Merciless. Another star goes out. No, my sword. Pew pew.
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but... oh well. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my sword 3 million times as penance.
That power. Who are you exactly?
Paimon has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master. Skirk, right? It's just that he gave us the impression that she was the less talkative person.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to... So you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring... That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that All in all, it fails as a pet.
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
The point being?
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire... So what sort of person is your master?
Oh, right. So you don't know him. His name is Sertologi.
I am unfamiliar with...
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous.
The Foul?
Still nothing? Well, how about...
Ooh, that one we've heard! Rhyme Doctor's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles, but I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to...
Wait! Didn't you also mention a visionary?
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over.
What?
Not to worry. Focalor has... all...
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Hey! Help! Over here!
All hands, initiate emergency rescue! Hurry!
Hey, lend a hand!
Look! The water's receding!
succeeding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
We're saved. The prophecy was wrong.
The soil renewed. The Spina di Rasula attacks post-disaster rebuilding. Old soil can still get Skyship Winglet. Boon, the various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield of people always call the first researcher mad, but few know. Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Jurier and Navia? They sound like real big shots.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's idea was pretty simple. With the disaster the value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable follow-ups. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home.
Paimon's curious too!
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct
are you sure?
Oh, this time we'll be... Oh, it's you.
Hey, we're just having a look around.
I'm here to update myself on how things are going here.
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snežević. Our residents are hard...
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing here. We just happen to share the same interests as the Spina.
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep it as simple as possible. Or would you be...
That would be fine. Thanks.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction material.
Huh?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina. So she's here in Poisson to wait out the heat.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson.
Oh, wait, just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions?
Forget it. I'm sure you can find a better theme.
I see you're the same.
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake...
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let him off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up.
How did it go? Was it a good shot?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to the... Also, not to brag, but I'm Wow, you really...
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at...
Whoa, you're well informed.
That's a...
In truth, I told him that it was better.
You're right.
Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear anything in...
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feel.
Looks like you've been missing us.
Duke! Did you come all the way to the...
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for...
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus.
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
Hey, no need to be so nervous.
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her...
Sir, please don't say things.
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier
No, I just...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet the boat that brought about a miracle. Still, if I might ask...
Huh! Looks like Charlotte's trying to...
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our family.
Really? Well, then in that case, could I have an...
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like to take another...
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well, then, 2 solo photos...
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone...
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to...
Ah, Siegeween.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Sure. Come on, Miss Siegeween, over this...
Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the front?
Same old, as you can see.
Other than that flying ship.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through.
You're too kind, sir.
I see. Lots of things happened that day.
He sure did...
I'll tell them that they're...
Oh!
What change can there be? As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll...
Hey, everyone! The photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go. Till next time, everyone.
There'll be a next...
Maybe. Who knows? All right. Last stop, the docks.
you